There is this often quoted line attributed to the great Hindu peace activist, Gandhi. It goes something like, "I like your Christ, I do not like your Christians. Your Christians are so unlike your Christ." While this is an unsourced and it's likely that the origins actually aren't attributed to Gandhi, the sentiment is one that is shared. Why is it that we as Christians so often get it wrong? When we look at Jesus' experience of working with the first Christians, his disciples, we see he had the same experience. You hear words from his mouth to his disciples like, "You of little faith, why did you doubt?" Or, "Do you still not understand?" And then, of course, to the pillar of a disciple, Peter, after his betrayal, he asks him, "Do you love me?" The term Christian is meant to imply Christ follower. Christ followers have high standards because Christ is a massive figure to follow. It is, in fact, impossible to follow him purely in actions. Instead, it is a walk of faith, of hope. Sadly, some of the worst instances of disloyal Christ following happened when people were rigorously following Christian standards, but they lost touch with Christ. For example, in the beginning of the construction of America as we know it today, we find that some Christians aligned themselves with the sinful practice of slavery, even going as far as to change scripture to justify their actions. Of course, as we know, some were also key in the abolitionist movement. Yet, again, even in the desegregation of the South and the anti-apartheid movement in South Africa, some Christians found themselves on the very wrong side of history. This is a perfect example of how some may attempt to conscript the word of Christ in the church to justify social ills. We have to allow the word to judge us and not interpret scripture through only our experience. The fact is that the person of Christ himself challenges us as we fail. He says to us, "You of little faith, do you still not understand? Do you love me?" So yeah, Christians get it wrong. But Christians get it right when we back up from following ideals or our idea of Christ and instead set our eyes on Jesus as Jesus is. Just Jesus.